Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm John.
And I'm Jennifer. Today we're going to talk about something a lot of people find a little tricky, writing a formal email in English.
Yeah, this is a great topic. I remember when I first moved to the US, I had no idea how to start an email to my professor. I just wrote hi like I was texting a friend.
Oh no, John.
I know. But don't worry, that's exactly why we're doing this episode. If you're learning English and you need to write an email to your boss, your teacher, or someone you don't know very well, this one's for you.
So let's start with the basics. When you write a formal email, the first thing you need is a good greeting. This is called a salutation.
A salutation? That sounds fancy.
It is a little fancy, but it just means the greeting at the top of your email, like Dear Mr. Smith or Dear Professor Lee.
Right, so instead of saying, Hi, Mr. Smith, you say, Dear Mr. Smith.
Exactly. Dear sounds much more formal than hi or hey. And notice we use the person's last name, not their first name. So you wouldn't write Dear John, you'd write Dear Mr. Anderson, using your last name.
That's okay, happens to everyone. So, Dear plus title plus last name. What about after the name? Do we use a comma?
Good question. In a formal email, it's actually more common to use a colon. That's the 2 dots, like this, Dear Mr. Smith. A comma is fine too, but a colon feels a bit more formal and professional.
Got it. Dear, title, last name, colon. Simple enough. What comes next?
Well, this depends on the situation. Let's say you're writing to someone you've met before, maybe at an event or a meeting, but you're not totally sure they'll remember you.
Oh, like when you meet someone at a party and then you see them again a month later and you're not sure if they remember your name?
Exactly like that. In English, we have a really useful phrase for this situation. I hope you remember me, or you may not remember me, but...
You may not remember me, but... That's a nice polite way to start.
Right. After that, you usually remind them how you met. For example, you may not remember me, but we met at the marketing conference last month.
Okay, that makes sense. You're giving them context.
Exactly. Context is really important in a formal email. The person reading it might get a lot of emails every day, so you want to help them remember who you are quickly.
What if you're writing to explain why you're contacting them? Like, what's the real reason for the email?
Good question. This is usually the second part of your email, and there's a common phrase for this too. The reason I am writing to you is, or I am writing to ask about.
The reason I am writing to you is. That's a really useful sentence. I feel like you could use that in almost any formal email.
You really can. It works whether you're asking for a job, asking a question, or requesting information. It's a nice, clear way to get to the point.
What about when you want to say something nice about the person, like a compliment? I feel like that's common in formal emails too, especially if you're asking for something.
Yes, that's very common, especially in professional or academic emails. For example, if you're writing to a professor, you might say something like, I have read several of your articles and I really admire your work.
I really admire your work. That's a nice compliment, but it still sounds professional. It's not too casual.
Right. And there's a useful word here, admirer. If you admire someone's work, you're an admirer of their work. It just means you respect it a lot and think highly of it.
Is that the same as a fan? Like a fan of a movie or a band?
Kind of. Admirer is a little more formal, and it's often used for professional or academic situations, while fan is more casual, like a fan of a sports team or a musician.
Got it. That's a helpful difference. Okay, so what if you need to attach a document to your email, like a resume or a report?
This is a great point because a lot of English learners aren't sure how to talk about attachments. The most common and simple phrase is, I have attached, or please find attached.
Please find attached. That sounds pretty formal.
It is. You'd use it like this. Please find attached my resume and a sample of my work. It's a polite, professional way to tell someone there's a file with the email.
What's the difference between a resume and this other word, CV? I always get confused about that.
Good question. A resume is a short document listing your education and work experience, usually 1 or 2 pages. A CV, which stands for curriculum vitae, is usually longer and more detailed. It's often used for academic jobs, like university positions, or for very senior professional roles.
So if I'm applying to be a professor, I'd send a CV. If I'm applying for a normal job, I'd send a resume.
Exactly right.
Okay, now let's talk about the ending. How do you finish a formal email?
Before the very end, it's nice to add a polite closing sentence. Something like, "Thank you for your time," or "I look forward to hearing from you."
I look forward to hearing from you. That means you're waiting for their reply, right?
Exactly. It's a polite way of saying, please write back to me.
And then how do you sign off? Like, what do you write right before your name?
The most common formal closing word is sincerely, followed by a comma and then your name on the next line.
Sincerely, comma, new line, your name.
That's it. Simple but very professional.
Wow! Okay, so let's put this all together. Can we make a quick example email just to review everything?
I love that idea. Let's do it together. Imagine you met a professor at a conference last week, and now you want to email her to ask about studying with her.
Okay, so first the salutation. Dear Professor Kim.
Great start.
Then, you may not remember me, but we met at the education conference last week.
Perfect. That gives context.
I have read your research, and I am a great admirer of your work.
Nice compliment.
The reason I am writing to you is that I would like to ask about studying with you next year.
Clear and polite.
Please find attached my CV for your reference.
Good. That mentions the attachment.
Thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing from you. Sincerely, John Anderson.
That's a really well-written email. You just wrote a great example, John.
Look at that. I finally learned something.
Better late than never.
Okay, so let's do a super quick recap for everyone listening. What are the main parts of a formal email?
Sure. First, a formal greeting like Dear, Ms., Mr., Dr. last name. Second, remind them how you know each other if needed. Third, explain the reason you're writing. Fourth, mention any attachments if you have them. And finally, a polite closing like sincerely, followed by your name.
That's such a clear structure. I think anyone listening can use this the next time they need to write a formal email.
I hope so. And remember, practice makes it easier. The more formal emails you write, the more natural these phrases will feel.
Great advice. Well, that's it for today's episode.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. If you found this helpful, remember to write your own practice email this week using the phrases we talked about.
We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.